Alright, so here we are. Another round of Nicsminibikes. Chuck and his friend took the tan bike out and cracked the frame on it, so we're going to pull the motor off of it and put it on a BT200X so I can compare the frame on that one. So yeah, get to it and let Chuck switch these motors out real quick and take you along for the ride. So this is our CT200U that Chuck took out riding with his friend the other day and brought it back and cracked the frame right here. Completely broken there, and this tube back here, it's cracked along the back here. So we're going to take this motor off along with the torque converter. It's on the other side, and we're going to swap it over to this one here. This motor makes a weird squealing noise when it's running, so open it up and see what we can find inside there once it's off. Maybe get it fixed to go back on there, because that motor will go back on that bike when it's put back together. So we'll let Chucky pick which one he wants to start with and start pulling the motors off. Alright, so he's finally got all, there's only 3 bolts in there, but he got them all out. Now have him go ahead and unhook the electronics real quick. The ground is already off, so he'll undo that clip there. He'll pull apart this one here, and that's the electronics all unhooked. So now we'll move on to getting the throttle unhooked. It'll take I believe it's a 10mm wrench and a Phillips screwdriver. That's good with that. There you go. So there's the throttle unhooked. Now that motor should be loose and ready to come out. There's that one. I'll start on this one by undoing the master link. It's going to be right there. So he's just going to try to get that screwdriver in there and pop that clip backwards. Chain off all the way. Set it to the side. Maybe it'll be the right length for the other bike. Gonna be pretty well the same process as taking the motor off the other bike. Get the 4 bolts out of the motor plate there and get the throttle unhooked and the electronics. Alright, so we got all 4 bolts out. The motor's loose. I'm gonna snip the zip ties, holding all the wiring together here, here, and there where he's cutting right now. Cut that one. Be careful not to cut any wires when he cuts this one. Get this last. There's that. So I think instead of cutting these wires and rewiring the kill switch on the other bike, we're just going to take the throttle off up here and just take this kill switch with us to that bike. So we'll start by the 2 screws holding the throttle on. Slide it. Where is it connected to? There. For this one, we're gonna have to take the airbox off to get the throttle off of this one. That's how I have it going through the backside. So we'll have to get the airbox off. For that, we'll need a 10mm socket. Put both these levers back this way and take these 2 nuts off. Give that one a little bit, and then we'll give the other one a little bit. Work back and forth. And that will just slide right back. Set it, just let it hang out the way. And then we got that second screw right there that was hiding underneath that airbox. You don't have to take it all the way out. There you go. There's that motor's loose. There he goes. Bringing it over to the other one. I'm gonna take a little bit of modifications to get it to fit, probably. So as you can see, with the torque converter, the 212 doesn't fit in this frame with this bar on there. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to cut this bar off here and back over here, get it out of the way so it'll clear that backing plate for that torque converter. So we'll get the grinder out and let Chucky grind away. Charles finally got that bar off of there. Just had to do a little bend in because the grinding wheel wouldn't quite go all the way through for him. So we got that bar off, so we'll try to get that 212 back in there now. Try to fit it in there again. So another thing when you're putting the 212 in one of these bikes is you got to have a 1-inch riser. So we got 1-inch risers that we used on this bike. So we'll just grab them and move them over to this bike. And they'll go right there. And that one will go right there. We'll try to slide that motor in again. Set her down. There you go. So it's on there. Just got to get it lined up. I don't know if I should help Chucky line it up or just let him keep struggling. It's kind of fun to watch. Alright, so we'll get the bolts through the motor and the risers, and then we'll get them into the plate on the bike. I lost my nuts. You see my nut?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that motor in the frame. We got the 1-inch risers on there. Got all 4 bolts through. We'll get this intake put back together after we get this throttle from this bike installed. Then we'll get the chain on and we'll tension it, sliding that motor forwards and backwards. Let's see what we get. Be back with you in a second. So here we got the Predator inside the BT200X. We're gonna take the original throttle, hook it up to this motor like so. So first thing we're gonna do is loosen this hold down screw. Loosen it up quite a bit. Get this throttle put through here. We'll get it threaded through here, like so. Get that tube underneath that hold down. Snug it down. That's good. Make sure that this is returned all the way forward. Pull this tight and snug down this screw here. And get full throttle when it's twisted, and when the motor's running, that's when it returns to idle. It won't return to idle if the motor's not running. So there's that, and we'll put that air box on. put the airbox on, you got to have your 2 levers forward. And just line up your 2 studs with your 2 holes. It slides right on. Then you got a tube. You got this hose here. It lines up on your valve cover. Just slides on there. There's nothing that holds it. It just slides on. So once you get it started, you just reach back there and guide that little guy on there. And that's on. So now Chuck will put those 2 nuts back on that airbox. When you tighten these down, you just want to do a little bit on one and then go to the other one. Don't do one tight and then the other one. Just do a little at a time, go back and forth. Just want to make sure it goes straight and snug. Okay, now that we've got that done, we're ready to put the chain on. So we'll go to the other side and see if this chain that came off of the tan bike fits. So to do that, we're gonna have to take this torque converter cover off. 2 8mm bolts. So take that cover off. Four. BT2. Oh. So there's a little 30 series torque converter on this one. Just put that belt on the chain on there and see what we got for length. Alright, so we got that chain on there. It looks like it's gonna work. So Chucky's gonna slide the master link in through the back. He's gonna put the plate on. What are you laughing at?
It almost fell.
Almost fell over.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna put the link on there so that the opening is facing backwards. That. And to get some of the slack out of the chain, we're just going to slide that motor forward. The slack is gone. Now we can snug that motor down. So we're back a few days later. Chuck isn't here. So we'll button up this BT200X and take it for a test ride. See how it goes. All I got left to do is to switch this kill switch with that kill switch and get the cover on the torque converter on the other side there. And then me and Ben are gonna take it for its test ride. We'll run up to Loaf and Jug and get him something to drink. So let's get started. pull the throttle off. Just got 2 Phillips there, 2 Phillips on the back of the kill switch, and everything will slide off this way. Cut these zip ties so we can get that kill switch off of there. Got everything loosened up. Thought I'd bring you back and slide them off for you, I guess. This just slides back like that. Lay it down to the side here. And this one should just slide right off as well, along with wires for it. There's that. And then we'll just take this new one here, slide it on like so. Just set it there for now, that's fine. Take your throttle back, slide it back on as far as it'll go. That'll tell us where we want that kill switch to be. And we'll take our Phillips screwdriver here. Slowly tighten these screws up. Decide where we want that kill switch. That one right there is good. And snug it up. Then we're ready to give her a start. Got it all on there. Now we'll tidy up those wires with a few zip ties. And we'll get that torque converter cover on there and go for a ride. So for my particular clutch cover, I can't put any bolts in the bottom because of some modifications I made to that clutch plate at one point in its life. This one, for this one, she just slides on like so and gets 2 bolts on the top. And just like that, snug down these 2 8mm bolts and we got a clutch cover.